Hello, and welcome to the Bear Experiment Podcast. I'm your host, Monica Clavijo. I'm so excited today. I am here with my childhood friend from the third grade from elementary school, Iradia.
I know, how exciting.
Welcome, my friend. Such a long time. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah? Get comfortable. These are just two friends shooting the shit. We're just gonna catch up a little bit on a lot of your of the exciting things that you're working on right now in your life, which is one of the reasons why I reached out to her, because Iradia is my age, 30 years old, and she looks spectacular. Like, she is ripped, okay? She is a wife, a mother of 3 beautiful daughters. Who one just moved to New York, no?
One moved to New York.
Yeah.
She's going to be 30 in June.
Yeah. I remember her. She was a little cray-cray when she was a baby.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
She's our little firecracker.
I do. I've never met your other 2 daughters, though, I don't think, right?
No. Jessica's going to turn 20 now on the 8th of February.
20 years old?
20.
Wow.
And Adriana just turned 18 on January 12th.
Okay. Yeah. So you have adult girls already.
I'm gonna be a grandmother soon.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Bueno, let's slow down. Let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah. But, I mean, my 30-year-old, she just met someone, and she's happy. So.
I think that's kind of like the beauty of starting young when you have children young, right? It's hard. It's really difficult because you kind of lose your childhood, but at the same time, you're kind of gaining all this knowledge now as an adult with all this wisdom, right? You've already kind of experienced so much, and you kind of know what's right and what's wrong. And now you still look good. It's not like you're an old hag at 65 years old. Well, not that you're old, because you know what? 60 is the new 40.
Oh, yeah.
For
so.
Sure.
But we're not 60 though. We're not there.
We are so not there. But yeah, I guess that's something that I'm not gonna have. I started later in life with my daughter,
but you still look great.
I look good, girl, but I want to look better. I want to look more better. So one of the fondest memories that I have of our friendship growing up is your grandparents who raised you. You were not raised by your mother or your father, who were not together. It was your grandparents, who were just amazing human beings.
I know they would call her La Vieja Loca in school.
They did?
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that. I never heard that story.
She would stand behind the trees and watch me, make sure that I wouldn't skip school.
Well, somebody had to control you. Somebody had to do it. Oh, yeah, those old people took care of you. My God, what a way of loving you. Because your mother was an only child?
No, I actually have a deaf aunt.
Their child also?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But she never had kids, and we don't have a relationship.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought your mother was an only child.
Which, by the way, that's my 4th language. Third language.
Sign language?
Sign language, yeah.
Matt from high school, do you remember him? Matt Ostrowski?
No, I don't remember.
I want to say that was his, that's what he majored in sign language. Yeah. It's a language. It's beautiful to know.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's very sad because, for example, my aunt had an accident, a car accident, and the cops didn't have anyone that would speak sign language, and it was a really bad accident. And I, at 3 o'clock in the morning, had to run to the area because
to help
translate, because they didn't know what was going on, and with my aunt, and so it's kind of hard. I wish they had more help, more assistance.
It's not something. Well, I mean, I think that they have. It's becoming something that's more available, I think, through like the closed captioning that they have now on televisions, right? But with technology improving. I do remember seeing an accident once where it was something very similar, where we got into an accident with them, And the driver, the male, I'm assuming it was the father, it was a family, gets out of the car, starts cursing us out in sign language. He was deaf. And we were like, we don't understand you.
Did he do this?
What does that mean? What does that mean?
This means fuck you. Do you have to edit that?
Listen, it was our fault. So we probably deserve what is it?
Yeah.
We deserve it. Then the wife got out of the car and she's cursing us out. She's also deaf mute.
Yeah.
The kids come out, they're also deaf mute. It was a family of deaf mutes in an accident with us,
Really?
and we couldn't
Even the
communicate.
kids were deaf?
Yeah, everybody was.
Wow. 'Cause
Everybody.
what's interesting is normally their kids don't come out deaf.
Okay.
It's third generation. So, for example, my girls have to be very careful.
Right.
You know, because she was born deaf.
Okay.
Because she had an uncle that was deaf. So it comes from the family.
Okay, so it's genetically linked already.
It's
in you guys.
genetically, yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I didn't know that about you. That's good to know.
Yes, I know. One thing you don't know.
If we're ever at war and I have to communicate to you from the other side that the enemy is approaching.
It's funny because I'm training a good friend of mine, and yesterday we were talking, and my husband was turned around, and I'm like, she knows sign language. I'm
Okay.
like, do you understand? And she's like, I got it. You know? And yeah, this is understand.
Oh, okay.
You
See,
know?
I would never. I would just say, "Yo, number one, yo, number one, keep going, girl, keep doing those sit-ups. You got it."
So yeah, and she went to a deaf school over in St. Augustine.
St. Augustine. I was just there and I saw it. Yeah.
And she does not speak. Oh, well, she doesn't speak. She does not read anything in Spanish.
What's that called? Brielle? Brielle? The.
No. She can see.
Oh, that's for blind people. Duh. Never mind. Rewind. I didn't just say that.
So yeah, she doesn't read or write Spanish.
Yeah.
It's English only. So she tried to burn their school down. By the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it runs in the family. That runs in the family too.
Mental health does run in the family.
Okay, good segue into. So right now you are 100%. I mean, I've been following your journey, and you've completely You've always been a very beautiful girl growing up,
thank you,
but you're like
Monica.
ripped now, and I know how difficult it is to get to that stage as we get older, right? With our hormones and work and the kids, and you've had 3 babies, right? It's
Yes.
harder to like tighten it all up back
Yes.
together, and you're really tight again. And I've followed that journey of yours, and now you're doing it 100% where you're coaching, right?
I'm
You have
coaching.
clients.
Yes, which I love my clients, by the way. I'm sure they're going to be seeing this. Yeah, I started off. I started off a couple of years ago, exercising. By the way, I never exercised when I was younger. It's funny because my ex-husband was really into bodybuilding, and I would go with him to the gym with a book, and he would tell me, okay, what do I have to do now? And write it down. And I was like, this guy's crazy. Like, I don't know how people do this. You know,
I don't get it. Like
Yeah.
it's not. Like,
but-
I don't see how I can get into it.
Yeah.
But I look at you, and I guess once you see yourself
It motivates
transforming,
you.
that's the motivation, right? That's the addiction part.
And so nothing. I mean, I just started getting into it. Really, I started getting into spinning. Spinning is what really made it for me, because it took me to another level. I gained a lot of weight, when I was pregnant, and I got really depressed. And my husband looked great. And
So with your first baby, you're talking about.
my second, because my first baby, remember, I had her at 16.
Yeah. You were baby. Babies having babies.
Yes. So I was 103 pounds when I got pregnant with Jocelyn. So I gained 60 pounds. So I was, and it actually looked great on me, I got
It
skinny
helped
again.
you, right? It gave
helped
you
me.
it gave you the
me-
boobies
yes,
and the butt
yes.
and the
And
Cuban
then-
curvatures.
Yes, and then nada, I lost the weight, being that I was so young, and then I remarried, and I had my other child, and I gained 76 pounds.
With your third,
My second.
that's the second.
And spinning really helped me. Really, really. It gets spinning, releases these endorphins.
I don't know. I hate spinning. I hate it. I hate it.
I know.
I am using the word
know.
hate.
I know. But you know what? It releases endorphins.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Not only spinning. I think just working out itself, it really does release endorphins, and I just feel you feel different.
Yeah, it changes your mind. It changes your mind
Completely.
chemistry, right?
Completely.
Yeah, the way that.
Completely.
So okay, so this is So you're feeling depressed.
Yes.
You gain a lot of weight, which happens to most women when they have children. It's just inevitable for most, and it's difficult to see your body not being yours anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you also have all your hormones that are all over the place when you have a baby, and now it's like you don't even have yourself, right? You're like a cow that you're milking. You're getting milked constantly to feed this child, and it's like it's a lot. It's a lot when you're not ready for it.
I don't know if you remember, but when I had my second child, my husband's first, I had a fish market here in Hialeah.
I remember that you had a fish market. Yeah,
Yes.
that you guys had a fish market.
La
Yes.
Pescadora.
Yeah.
And I gave birth.
I thought you
and-
guys still had that.
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I sold it because my grandmother passes away on a cruise ship. So I was 3 months postpartum, and it killed me. It killed me.
If you're okay with it, after we talk about everything, if you're okay with it, I'd love to kind of
Of course.
just explain that story, because I know that you went on several newscasts and you spoke about it. I know it was something very personal. I know it was very difficult for you. Her grandmother passes away on a cruise, and the cruise really was not helpful in aiding medical assistance where she could have survived, right?
And this is something that happens very, very often.
More than not, right?
Anyone knows.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would love if you're open to talking about that.
Of
I would love
course.
to talk about
We're
that a
gonna
little bit.
talk a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. Everything.
Everything. Two Hialeah girls put together.
This is
not-
dangerous. We're going to be here all night.
And some wine, let me tell you.
So you start working out. How do you make that decision to start spinning then?
So I started spinning. It's funny, Monica, because I started spinning and I started sitting all the way at the back because
You're all embarrassed.
I was so heavy
Yeah.
that my
I couldn't stay on the seat. Like I was always on the seat. So it was very painful at the end. You know what I mean?
Well-
The seating was my best friend.
Well, let me tell you, my thighs
Yeah.
would rub of how big
They
was.
were.
And so, I just started spinning, and it got to the point where I lost so much weight, and I ended up in the front with the instructor.
Like the spinning and
Yes.
teaching the class
Like
basically.
No. I
Oh,
wouldn't
like
teach-
I got you.
But I'm saying
like first chair.
Yes, I was like the first one there, and and that's really what started motivating me.
And how often were you doing the spinning classes?
I was doing it a lot because I'm a Taurus. I get really
I'm obsessive. I'm compulsive. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
and I'm just that's the way that I am.
Yeah.
Like when I really do something, I
Like you go in.
yes, all out. And if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right.
Right. So you were going what, 5 days, 6 days?
5 days a week, sometimes even twice.
Were you doing it in the morning and at night kind of thing?
Yes. And sometimes I would even do back to back, to the point where I fainted in a class.
That's called OCD. OCD.
I do not recommend that, by the way. But it was great, you know. I and people, you know, what really motivates you is when people tell you, "Oh my God, you look so different."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I have
It does something to your self-esteem, right?
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
you know?
everybody's that way. Everybody's that way. Absolutely. You're feeling a little down. You want to make somebody feel good. Ay, qué linda te veo hoy.
Exactly.
Mentira. Just tell them that. You're going to raise
made
their
their
spirit.
day.
Yes.
You made
It
their
just
day.
does something to somebody. So, yeah.
And that's one thing that us women need to do for each other.
Yeah. More self-love, more love for each other and not so much hate and judgment for each other, which we love to do.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're so right about that.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that off camera before, and you know, listen, I'm guilty of it as well. You know, and it's something that I really do wanna check myself whenever I do that. Like, why am I hating? Let me, you know,
I know.
girl, go.
I know.
You got this. You got this.
I know.
Let's go. You know.
You know, I have to say something. So I go to this gym. I don't want to say any names, but I go to this gym and I'm there training someone. And I'm like, people here are so weird, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm saying to myself, I catch myself and I'm like, why did I just say that? You know what? Whether they're wearing Crocs or whether they're wearing jeans, they're here.
Yeah, they're working out. They're trying to better
working
themselves.
out, you know? And then we're so judgmental sometimes.
Right. Ay, what is she wearing?
Yes. You know? And
Yeah.
it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's things that you shouldn't wear.
You
Like-
should always wear, what's that called? Louis Luman? What is that?
Lululemon.
Lululemon.
Yes. No. But, you know, I mean, I do see some people at the gym, you know, certain gyms wearing jeans to work out. But you know what? If you come to think about it, maybe they just got off work and
And
that's
they didn't
the
have
only-
time.
They don't have time.
What about if they just didn't have a pair of pants in the car to change into?
Exactly.
And, you know, they're living in their car and they couldn't wash their workout clothes. I mean, let's take it. And they're trying to work out because,
could.
you know,
It
they're
could
just trying to
happen.
better their life. And you're here judging
Exactly.
in your Louis Lemons, you know? No, I hear you, girl. We should not.
You know-
We have to be better. We have to be better.
Yes.
We have to be better with each other. We have to egg each other on and not,
Yes.
you know,
Yes, exactly.
push
100.
push us down, right?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why I am so glad you brought me on.
Oh my God, I've been like, okay, let me I just started the podcast like 6 months ago. So I'm still kind of, you know, working up a little bit of an audience and a following, and it's a lot of work. It's difficult because I do this in the evenings and on the weekends, and I have a daughter and I have a job, a real job that pays the bills. And
But you got this.
no, and listen, and I would love to keep getting this, but yeah, it's been. I wanted to kind of grow it a little bit more before I bring on. I'm grateful for everybody that comes on, obviously, you know, because I'm going to continue to grow it that way. But I do want to provide a value to whoever's following the podcast right now, even if it's one person. I always say that, you know, and I do feel that you provide a great value with, you know, the hardship that you went through with depression, which is, again, I'm here because I went through a lot of cycles within the last 3-4 years. And I feel a lot better now. And I want to talk about it. It helps me. So maybe by bringing on different people, it's still helping me because I'm still talking to you. I'm still learning from you with
course.
everything that you're doing. And I'm picking up from what you're telling me right now too.
course.
So I'm very grateful that you're here. And I really hope that you can help. And I hope that you can get a lot of clients from this. You know, you never know, girl. Girl.
You gotta follow me.
We'll put all your information. No worries. We're gonna definitely put all your information so that everybody knows who you are and where you're and how to reach you. So after you're spinning, then how do you? So you're spinning, and
So
obviously,
I started spinning, and then I used to follow this girl called Yanelis Pupo, which I can name her. amazing. She just started getting into bodybuilding, and she had a great trainer. And I wanted to start off, and I always had a gym in
So
my garage.
you got to that point after spinning where you're like, I want to do
Yes.
bodybuilding because that's hardcore.
Yes.
Now you're like you're not
well,
playing around.
I didn't. I always wanted to do bodybuilding, but unfortunately, Monica, people are like we said, very judgmental. It's like, oh my God, you're gonna look like a man.
I'm one of those people.
You know,
I'm one of those people.
You're gonna lose this, and you're
Yeah,
gonna lose that,
yeah.
and you're gonna,
And you still look very feminine. Absolutely.
You know, and
you're very sexy and you haven't lost it. But maybe if you get really crazy into it, you could get to that point where you start looking like a man.
Well, the thing is this, I have my off season, right? So what happens is I give myself my time to be me, to spend time with my family, go to restaurants, enjoy. Then, I say to myself, okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this again, which, by the way, my trainer just asked me yesterday if I was going to compete again, which that's on the table right now. So, but, these women are constantly working out, and you'll see them one day, they have a very thin waist, and then you see them, months down the line. Why? Because they're training for the entire year, and they don't give themselves body.
And they're also taking a lot of injections and supplements and testosterone in order to help build their muscle.
Yes.
And that, you start growing a little bit of a goatee where you're not supposed to. And
so their body changes, and I do believe that, you need to give your body a rest. You need to give your body a rest to reset, and that's why I love my trainer, because he's very conservative in that sense.
Okay.
He really does believe that a woman's body needs to rest from because it's a very intense training.
of course. So when you work out, how long do you work out for?
An hour.
That's it?
That is it.
Oh, I thought you were like there for Arnold Schwarzenegger
See,
style, 4 hours.
No, that's the thing. You do not need more than that. Because the truth of the matter is, Monica, it's 70%, 80%
What you eat. That's my problem, girl. I'm weak. I'm
And-
weak.
And when you don't work out, you do your cardio. You can walk the dog. You can
So you work out for an hour, you do weights for an hour. How many times a week?
4 times a week.
And then how often do you do cardio?
Well, right now I have to be honest, because this is all about being honest. I'm not doing cardio.
Because you're just lazy or
No, because I don't want to thin out too much.
you look fantastic. Like I like thin, but I don't like too thin. Like you still
Exactly.
have a very curvy body.
Yes.
You still have a very feminine
Yes.
figure. I
Yes.
think if you get too thin also you lose that appetite, that female appetite that,
Yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. When you're really thin and you're so toned, everything looks so good on you.
Yeah.
You
Right,
know?
when you dress with the clothes, right? Because then you look very elegant.
Because your legs are very toned, your arms are very toned, but my face is becomes really thin, my lines start to come
Yes.
out, and I like to
And do you think that's just because we're not 17 anymore? Or do you
No.
think that it's just because,
No,
that happens
because
to anybody
it
as
happens-
they get too skinny?
it happens to everyone? Because one of the things that the first place you lose fat is your face.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. True.
Yeah.
True.
That is the
Yeah.
fastest place where you will lose
That makes
fat.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, I am a wife that really cares about what her husband thinks, because
As you should be.
not only do I care, I mean, granted, I like to look good in the mirror, but my husband doesn't like that look, of the really skinny face.
Because he's Hispanic, of course not.
Yeah. So I mean, I try to keep it. I try to keep a balance right now.
Right.
The good thing is, Monica, that a lot of people, when I competed, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, you're so thin." You don't understand. You go back to what you look like.
Because you're not going to eat that way forever.
Exactly.
Because at that point you're eating
No.
like
That's
portioned meals.
That's competition diet.
Okay,
That's
how difficult is that? How difficult is it to compete? And I guess we can elaborate a little bit about that since we're in this portion of the conversation. So how difficult is it to have to eat like that, those portion controlled meals now? Because now you're competing. Now you're like really eating where you're measuring every gram, every fat, every ounce of food, right? Of protein, everything that you're eating. And how difficult is it living with a family that's not working out and having young teenage daughters at that point? Because you were doing it when they were still teenagers.
Okay, so the thing was, my grandfather / dad, which is who raised me, passes away, right?
I remember.
Yes, in October of 2021. And I was really working out hard already, hardcore, but not for competition. So, the conversation came up between my trainer and I, because my trainer does train for competitions, for competitors who want to compete. And it came up. And he said to me in these words, because my trainer knows my husband. And he said, "Iris, you need to go home and you need to sit your family down. And you need to explain to them that you wanna do this. Because this is not just you. This is a family ordeal. Your family needs
That's what
to
I'm
be,
saying. Like, you need to have that support system.
Yes.
If not,
Like,
you're going to be miserable.
yes. Because we would go to restaurants and here comes Iris with her food.
Oh, so you would actually...
Oh,
you
yeah.
would take your food to the
Yeah.
restaurant. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, you can't eat at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I remember hearing Matt Damon. He was training for one of his, movies. And he was like, when I would go to a restaurant, I would tell the waiter, make the chicken, no
Yes.
oil, no salt, and I'm going to taste it. If you put it on it, you better make sure. And I was like, why are you going out? Then again, they're loaded, so it doesn't matter, and they're going to cook it to their taste. But yeah.
And it's great because you have a lot of restaurants that do accommodate for you.
They do?
Yes. Like
Which one?
La Carreta, for example.
Really?
Oh yeah.
La Carreta.
La Carreta. Yes. You go to La Carreta, you tell them, listen, I want a más o menos un 4-ounce chicken, que no me le echen nada, just, con ensalada, vinagre, and that's it.
So you don't, at that point, you don't even use olive oil or anything?
My trainer is not against olive oil. He's not. I liked him because, I like my trainer in that sense because he would tell me, listen, you want to put sriracha on your eggs? Put sriracha on your eggs. One thing that I have to confess, one thing that saved my life when I was in my menstrual cycle.
Oh, yeah, because you're going crazy
yeah.
at that point. You want
yeah.
chocolate, you want all that fun
Yes.
stuff.
Was the Reese's Pieces sugar-free. My trainer never ever knew that I would eat that. Now he knows. But he never knew that I would have those. And my trainer, Monica, I would go, for example, which I think probably happened once or twice, but I would go into the gym and he would just eye me from top to bottom.
And he would know.
And he would tell me, you're bloated. Did you drink water? I'm like,
He knew.
how the hell do you know this? And one thing I want to get into is, how the body is so weird. You know, when I was in the day of my competition, my trainer, okay, it was the best experience. It is the best experience ever.
The competition.
The competition day. It is. First of all, it's crazy because you have all these competitors eating rice cakes. I mean, I'm talking about like 5, bags of rice cakes
Why?
all over. Because you eat it for carbs. Some people, need to
Like for
have
the energy?
for the energy to carb up, or some people can't even have anything throughout the whole day, not even water, But my trainer would see me 7 o'clock in the morning. Okay, drink some water. Okay. He would see me at 9 o'clock in the morning. Don't drink anything. I mean, the anatomy of the body is so incredible, and that's what I tell all my people, the girls that I train. I have a picture that if you can put it up,
Send it to me, absolutely, and I'll put it up.
mind you, I'm giving it all here today. Okay, but it's a 3-week picture from 1 week.
The difference of 3 weeks?
Yes. And it was just all my trainer having to tweak my diet.
So you're having what, like
Okay,
chicken, like a 3-ounce chicken with.
Okay, so in the morning, and really,
How often are you eating? How many times a day are you eating? Is
Okay.
it like every 3 hours? Is that
Yes,
accurate?
Yes, every 3 hours before 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So, for example, my breakfast was the best because I would have 4 ounces of
Claro,
egg
because in the
whites.
morning you have all day to
Oh, yeah.
burn it, so you can
Yes,
eat a little bit more.
yes. So I would have 4 ounces.
Girl,
of-
I know. I could be a trainer.
I would have 4 ounces of egg whites, 1 yolk. I would have 2 wheat toast with 3 ounces of avocado.
That
Okay.
does sound good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I was competing. And then I would put my avocado with my egg on top, and I would use another thing that saved my life was tahini. Is it tahini?
Right.
The red.
You're asking the wrong.
Yeah, like-
Paprika?
No.
You're asking
Red-
the wrong girl.
Red chili? No.
I do not cook.
Yeah, I think it's tahini. Anyway, it would give it a taste, or I would put sriracha.
Okay.
You
And
know?
sriracha is a no for trainers.
No, he would actually tell me,
Like
you
if-
can use sriracha,
okay, all right.
And so,
See, claro, to give it a little bit of a kick.
yes, the only thing that I couldn't eat, was okay, so I would have lunch, right? Jasmine rice, 6 ounces of jasmine
Love
rice.
Jasmine rice.
Okay. I would have 4 ounces of chicken, and I would have Brussels sprouts.
Oh,
Which-
yum.
Yes. My husband would
In
cook
the oven.
with
Yum.
coconut oil.
Que rico.
That was my best. And then after that, my snack was a 4-ounce chicken with watermelon. Eso sí, no me lo podía meter
Yeah,
por
that-
ningún lado.
that's
I
not-
couldn't, no.
Yeah.
And then now, after that, at night, I would have a piece of white fish because I was only allowed to have salmon once a week.
Why? Because salmon is very fattening,
Yes.
fatty.
Very fatty.
No.
And so I would have a piece. No tilapia, people, please. No tilapia.
Why? Because it's just it's what is it that they say? It's like the rat of the sea or the
We'll get into
the
that
roach
later.
Of the sea.
We'll get into that
Yeah.
later. But then, so really, I was eating, and I felt perfectly fine. As a matter of fact, the other day I was telling my husband, you know what? I miss that food. you know?
Because you feel better, right? Like when you start eating like that,
100%.
it takes a little bit of work and it takes a little bit of
Yes.
effort.
You know what?
But then you start having so much energy,
Yes.
and you don't have, like, you're not farting, and you're not, right?
No,
You're
no.
not going to the bathroom.
No. And the thing is, you gradually start getting into, this. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. That is exactly what it is.
It's a lifestyle.
It is a lifestyle.
And I think that right now, the diet I started with is doable, because of course it starts getting harder at the end. Okay. Oh, grapefruit.
Oh, I'm not a big fan.
I know.
I'm not a fan. It's supposed to be great, like in the morning too,
Grapefruit,
right? To cook.
Cucumber
Cucumber, I like.
with tahini.
Don't know what that is.
I
Don't know.
I know.
I think I have some.
I'm
Actually, I think I have some.
I'm gonna get you a bottle of tahini.
I think I
As a matter
have.
of
I do,
fact.
and I've never used it. But I'm like, what the hell is this for?
Okay, so tahini, everybody puts it on mangoes. Well, not everybody. Some people put it on mangoes. Some people put it on cucumber,
Okay.
and they love it.
Okay. All right.
Because cucumber could be kind of like,
No, but you know what it is too? I think that it's a matter of accommodating your taste buds also, because a few years ago, stopped, I tried to cut out sugar. Because sugar is
Hard.
so bad for you too,
That's
and we get
hard.
so
Oh,
addicted
yeah.
to it. And I'm not really a sweet person, so I thought it was going to be easier. It was terrible, and especially in the morning with my coffee. And let me tell you that the first week, I was like, what the hell am I drinking here? If you put sugar in my coffee now in the morning, I can't drink it.
Monica. We were just having this conversation
I cannot
the
drink
other
it.
day with someone. I just don't. Oh, my girl that trains with me at nighttime at the house. My last client. I made some coffee, and I'm like, look, I don't have coffee with sugar. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. My husband and we got used to it.
Yeah.
It took a while.
You still get the same effect, because you really do.
To be honest with you, you really taste what coffee is supposed to taste like.
I love it. I
know?
enjoy. And then in the afternoon, I do give it a little kick with a little bit of French vanilla. Yeah, I make it more like a little bit of a. I'm not training. I'm not in training Coach. Coach, I'm not in training right now.
No, but it is good. And when I was during my competition, my trainer had me drinking American coffee with nothing, which I never thought I would have that. And I actually like it now. Even me, that I'm not into competition mode right now, I have my coffee.
Okay, so
with
let's talk a
nothing.
little bit about that part with the food and the weight loss. So when you're working out, what's best for weight loss? Is it to start doing cardio, or is it to get in the gym and start doing weights? Because I've heard both. I hear that you don't have to be doing cardio, that if you go to the gym and you just do weights for an hour, you're gonna have, you're gonna lose weight 3 times as fast.
Okay.
But then am I gonna bulk up and look like Arnold Schwarzenegger because I'm fat and I'm gonna
At
get
all.
bulky?
So, first thing you got to start with is what you have in the refrigerator.
The food, 80%. 80% is what you're eating. Okay.
Forget about cardio.
I've always heard that, right?
Forget about cardio. If you start cutting off sugars and you start, having a healthier lifestyle, you will see a difference. And then you're going to start motivating yourself into, wow, I've lost 5 pounds. Okay, now I'm going to get into walking my dog.
What's a good judgment that you can use for yourself? Is it like getting a pair of pants that are really tight
Yes.
and just putting them on? Is it taking a
Yes.
picture in the mirror every day and seeing the difference? What works for you?
I would say A, B, and C.
Okay, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
I would be naked.
Actually,
I would be naked in the mirror. Like,
what I tell my clients and what I would look at, because there was 2 years that I would say that I got really heavy. And I would look at those pictures to be honest with you. I would look at those pictures and I was like, I don't want to go back to this.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to that.
So, I had a neighbor who was very heavy, lost weight naturally, like
Working
no
out,
surgery,
eating right.
no nothing. And he would carry a picture of himself, 300 pounds, in his car. And he would look at it every morning.
Like, I don't want to go back to that.
I don't want to go back to that. Or something that motivates you. I don't know, maybe having a picture of me in your car motivates you.
Yeah. Hey, you and J-Lo on each side. I might be like, hey.
Let me tell you, J-Lo really motivates me, okay?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I don't really like her personally because she gets on my nerves sometimes because she gets all the fine guys. No. But you have, hay que decirle usted. Like, she's what, 53 years old?
Yeah.
She's had her nip and tuck.
Yeah.
That ain't natural, 100%. But the work is still there. No matter how much surgery you have, if you don't maintain it with a level of...
So let's get into that. Mm-hmm. Are you against surgery?
I am a Leo sister from Hialeah. I don't have any wrinkles on my face. What do you think? I got glasses on because the surgery, the appointment is set.
So
if you can pay for it,
yes,
and you don't get to a level of addiction, which happens a lot, and I have a very addictive personality, so I have to be a little careful with shit,
So do I.
But absolutely not. I think that anything that helps your self-esteem and helps you feel better and helps you move on, life is really difficult. And if, a little nip and tuck helps you feel better, go for it, girl. If you can afford it, go for it.
Of
and if
course.
you can't afford it, Care Credit will pay for it, and then you pay it back.
The only thing I don't respect, and this is me personally, I don't like the women that feel that, I'm going to have plastic surgery and I'm going to look like her. No, you're not going to look
Everybody's
like her.
different.
You have to maintain yourself.
Correct.
Because I've seen it. Women that have done surgery and a year or two later are worse than when they had surgery.
I've seen that too, that they do the liposuction and then they get pregnant. I've never understood that.
Yes.
I mean, I guess maybe, there could be accidents happen, right? And,
of course.
And you're having a baby or whatever, but there's women that don't have children and they just blow up after. And it's like, what happened? Like, what motivated you at this point to go through this level of pain?
Yes.
Because it's painful.
Yes.
I mean, I heard it was very painful.
I've heard too.
It's really painful when you have liposuction. Is what people say. And then for you to allow yourself to get to that level of weight again, which is what's happened to me this year, like in January. And I think this is one of the main reasons why I really reached out to you, because I'm kind of slacking a little bit in January. Every day I say, New Year, new
Oh yeah,
me.
everyone's New Year resolution.
But I always worked out last year. I was doing really well. And for whatever reason, when I was like 2024, oh my God, like nobody's going to recognize me. 3 weeks in, I can't even start. So that alone is also like debilitating me a little bit because I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just, why isn't the engine turning on with what I'm trying to do?
I'm going to be honest with you, Monica. Like you said, I am a personal coach, but aside from that, I need my personal trainer. My husband.
You need a motivator.
Oh yes.
I know.
My husband. My husband can try to take anything else away from me, which he doesn't. But he knows my trainer is for my mental health.
Right.
My trainer, when I was going through really bad depression, he would actually, text me. Get the F up now.
Right. You need that kind of like
and
Navy. You need that. I've been reading a lot of like Navy SEAL books right now. And their approach and mentality to obviously very different circumstances that they're dealing with, where they're fighting terrorists and, but what the hell? I'm not doing that, but let me apply that method because it's still a way of thinking and a way of approaching problems and circumstances and fear. And it's approaching it with that level of like, I'm a fucking soldier and I got this too. And if they can do it, why can't I? Let the adrenaline kick in. Maybe it's you calling me in the morning saying like, oh yeah, you fat bitch.
Yes.
Are you still in bed?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Do you want me to put the picture that you sent me on Facebook?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. And you do need that.
And you know what? That's why I love what I do, because first of all, I have a great mentor, which is my coach, Diego, and my husband, of course. That's another one. Rudy. Because if it wasn't for my husband also tells me, hey, Diego's going to be upset. Like, get your ass up, Or he'll hear my phone ding, ding, because my trainer calls me like 2 hours before. You're coming, right?
Are you working out in the morning?
I'm working out in the morning, yes. And, if it wasn't for them, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. And look, my best friend, Annette, she does not need a personal trainer. That bitch will work out on her own, and she's got her shit down pat, and she's, she'll do it. But I can't.
I see, but you see, perception is everything. Like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel that you are that person.
Oh, no.
I feel that you're just like, you wake up in the morning and you're like, let me do 20 sit-ups before I go pee. Like I have this conception of you in my head.
Yes, okay. Like I have my band, and before I shower, I do my.
While I'm taking a shit, I'm doing squats because it helps it come out faster. Come on, like you're totally that person.
Well, yes, and when I'm not working out with my trainer, which is like, for example, Saturday, I'll be at the gym, okay, doing my thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's part of my life already, But people need that, you need that motivation to go forward. You need someone like, for example, my neighbor, when I was going to Orange Theory, which is a great program, by the way.
I've heard of it, right? That's the one that you do like 10 minutes or whatever.
That is
right, and you do like every machine.
Yes, great program to start off.
Mm-hmm. There's one around the corner.
Because
I've heard of it.
I'll tell you why it's a great program. Because it teaches you how to, okay, I am in the red zone, I'm in the green zone, I'm in the orange zone, okay? And you learn, if you're not that type of person.
What does that mean?
When you're in the, I'm not sure.
It's something with them. It's something that they apply. It's like their.
Yes, because.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a workout thing. Like, Eradia, I'm in the red zone, girl.
No, because you have, like the Apple Watch, Samsung has it too. It'll tell
Do you have an Apple Watch? No, girl, you got a Rolex. That's a Rolex. It's a different kind of apple.
But I don't. You're getting me already. You're gonna have to stop this. No, I'm kidding. No, it tells you if you're in the red zone, your body is quemando.
Yeah,
burning.
Oh, that's good.
Throughout the whole day when you are at this level when you're working out. So that's what Orange Theory does. And aside from that, if you're not a very competitive person, you'll become one because you're there and you're seeing what everybody else is doing on the screen.
So you want to get to that point.
Mm-hmm. Just like spinning. Spinning, claro. Spinning is myself. You gotta compete within yourself, and you gotta be like, okay, I want to move up to the front of the class. Mm-hmm. But that's just me. You understand? Not everyone's like that, but that's how you become better. And really, that's anything in life, right?
Absolutely. Whatever calls to your soul. And clearly this is something that has helped you, just helped you, period, right? Yes. With whatever struggles you were dealing with. Everybody has their calling. But listen, I have various friends that have transformed their body. And again, you were always, because I don't remember you really fat.
No,
Okay, maybe when
I've
you had a
never.
kid, you know.
No,
and
I've
that's
never.
normal. That's expected. But I've met people that they were fat and then they start working out and they are as dedicated as you are. And it's what you said earlier. It's a lifestyle for them, and that's what they say as well. This is a lifestyle.
It's a
you know,
lifestyle.
you don't divert from this at all. This is what I do. This is how I wake up. This is how if I'll go out to eat once a week or once a month, whatever. And I have a cheat day. You know, I have a lot of cheat days.
Cheat
That's
meal.
I have a lot of cheat. I have cheat hours. I don't know. I have no discipline. You know what it is? I have no discipline. That is my personal problem, because I'll get into it and then I'll go out. I'll have a little bit of wine and it's like chicken wings or whatever. Yeah. Well, but I bet you really don't do that often. Okay. Well, now. But you've already
Now.
shown. But when you
Now.
were doing it hardcore,
Oh, no,
right?
never.
That's what I'm saying.
Never.
You have to just at that point get to listen. You have to right. You're human. You're human.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
You need
why
to have a
these
balance.
women look different.
Horrible. Horrible.
Why?
I don't like
Because-
that.
and-
I don't think that looks attractive at all. You know, if you want to do it for a little bit because you want to compete for one competition, and I just think that a female has to, and you can look very sexy, and you don't have to. Start looking like a man. Like these women that are out there, that their arms are out to here. There's nothing sexy about that.
Well, you know,
I guess. Listen, it's a personal preference, right?
yes. The
I
thing is, I can't say too much about that because
you were part of a competition, and you met a lot of women that
I
did
met
it.
a lot of beautiful women,
Right.
But it's
I understand. I
that's-
understand your position, where you're coming from.
That's what they like.
Right. No. I completely understand you. I'm giving you a
I-
personal preference of what I believe. There's just like a male and female appearance that we have, and you can still be very fit and muscular and still look very feminine. There's a beauty about women. There's a beauty of men. My God, you see a buff guy with muscles and
But now I'm going to
tall.
give you a scenario. There's skinny men.
Give me a guy with his plucked eyebrows. I don't want to talk to him. You know,
There's skinny men that like overweight women.
black men, black men love them a little thick. They like them thick.
You know, and believe it or not, there's men that like that.
Yeah,
You know, they like that.
yeah.
And,
There's
and
there's a
with-
preference for everything.
yeah, and you know, my category was wellness, which is, you know, you walk across, you know, the stage very feminine, you know, you're still, you know.
I mean, I saw what you posted on your personal social media. And you posted a lot of pictures of them. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'll look for them so that I can post them on the podcast so that everybody can see. Like she was, and then you were also like African American with your tan.
I love
You were no longer.
the tan.
You were no longer white.
I love the tan.
Why do you?
know what?
Okay, so why do you have to be black?
Because it brings out
The muscles.
the muscles.
Really?
all the
Well, I figured
tone.
that was it.
Yeah. It brings it all out. You
But it's
know?
like too much.
I know. But you know what? As the time goes by, it gets prettier. Believe it or not, that tan lasted me for 6 months.
Is it like a special place that has
It's pro tan. They're really like.
and they specialize in
they
like
specialize-
bodybuilding?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Well,
nobody gets a tan like that. Because if I got a tan like that, I would have to change my driver's license. They would be like, "This is not you. This is not like you. You change. Your color changes."
It's funny you said that because on my LA Fitness ID, it doesn't look like me.
Of
And
course
the guy-
not. You were black.
No, and I was like super like my weakness is my lower body. My strength is my upper body. Like I can do upper body in a month and you'll see me like I'm ready to compete.
Like you
And-
just get like you
yeah,
like you
my,
get very
my muscles
yeah.
get really toned. it's genetics. My dad was the same way.
Bueno, but I think it's also because you got the big booty going.
it
You don't
could-
think that's that too? It's
Well,
like
because
the whole hormones
we
and
have a
the
lot
big.
of
But that's what I'm
thighs,
saying.
you
The
know,
big
a
thighs
lot
and
of
the
fat,
booty.
yeah.
I think it's a Hispanic thing too, right?
And LA Fitness looked at me and they're like,
That's not you.
"Is that you?" And I'm like, "That's me."
That's when I was a competitor.
You know, so
I was black.
oh my God, but I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved it. And I would go like maybe once a month and I would try to keep up with it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean that day, the day of when I competed that night, we went out to a restaurant. Everyone
You
was-
went out
Oh yeah.
the day. Well,
The night
after.
after
Oh, okay. To celebrate.
to eat a burger. God.
You
It
had a
was
burger?
yes. It was so
And diarrhea that night. I'm
yes,
sure.
yes, it was. Yeah, but you know, and people look at you because, first of all, the tan is different.
Yeah.
You know, and I was 6% body fat. Dude, I'm right
So
now. I'm like
eat-
25.
How are you eating that burger? Like, did your husband take a picture of you?
You know, it's funny because I couldn't eat the whole thing. I couldn't.
You got stuffed.
I got
The
stuffed,
bread
and then
and
like you start
the preservatives
feeling-
that they
yes,
have inside.
Like you start feeling, and
yeah.
it took me a year.
I've been feeling like crap lately,
Yes.
and I know that a lot of it has to do with the way that I'm eating.
And you know what? And
with the stuff that I'm eating a lot out. I've been ordering Uber Eats since December.
Mm-hmm.
I've been ordering Uber Eats like if I'm like a Hilton. It's like I'm like, hey, to my daughter, hey girl, where are we ordering from today, girl? Outback or yeah? Don't think that we ain't ordering from like Capital Grill. No, but we're ordering because I just don't want to cook.
I
don't
like
even-
Outback.
Yeah,
they
Outback was like the fancy one because this is a podcast. Sometimes we do Taco Bell,
Oh,
the best. See, that is my crack. That is our crack.
what do you like from Taco Bell?
Oh my God!
Tell me,
what
tell
do we
me.
like? It's like Jesus. It's like Jesus came to earth and
No
just starts
way.
talking to us. Yeah, it's like we love like the Nacho Bol Grande with sour cream,
Ay, qué rico.
the hard tacos.
But don't you want? Wouldn't you want to? Okay. Wouldn't
the chicken quesadilla,
so? Wouldn't you?
the fiesta fries. What?
Okay. So, wouldn't you like to change that up into going to a real taco place that's healthier?
It's not so much me, it's my child.
Oh.
So I cook, or I try to cook, but like I told you earlier, I'm not great at it. So I'm working on that because she's pickier. So I'm trying to see how I can get her kind of into some sort of a sport now.
Okay.
Because I know once she gets into it, it's just gonna, it's kind of like a package that just starts happening, you know? But yeah, she just loves it. And I do too, because I used to eat it a lot when you know, we were in high school with Marlis. Like, that was our
Hi,
thing.
Marlis.
Like, that was our thing. We used to go to Taco Bell.
Well,
You know, those were our old stomping grounds,
Yes.
you know? And,
Taco Bell on East 9th
but
Street.
I also lived,
Right?
yeah, that was the first one that we used to go to, but the one that we really went to the most was the one in Hialeah by 122nd on 68th, because that's where Marlis lived.
Didn't Marlis live on by 10th Street, East 10th Street or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Yes.
and East Hialeah.
There's a flag there right now. She doesn't live there anymore?
No.
Or her parents?
No.
No?
No,
Oh,
they live. No, they don't live there. We're not gonna give your positioning.
Oh.
Don't worry. Don't worry, girl. Don't worry. Everybody's talking a lot.
Sorry.
No, but I used to go a lot with Marlis, but we were also, 25 years old and weighed 100 pounds, and we would
Yeah.
eat and it was like nothing. Now you eat and the next day you're like, what happened? Where's my neck? And
Yeah.
that's what happens with and plus that, it's horrible food. It's not really meat, right? Everything that they say. Anyway, yeah, that's like our guilty pleasure here in this household.
But yeah, I mean, back to the mental health and depression, if it wasn't for my husband and my coach, they really pushed me, to work out, to get up, in the morning, and do my thing. And we listen. We make up excuses. You know, I did CrossFit for a long time.
I heard that that's terrible for you. I was just talking to a
Okay.
girlfriend about that, and she was telling me that that is horrible.
It is horrible for you. Well, okay, so it's not horrible, okay? But the thing is that at our age, you know, you tend to get hurt, you know? But it's great. Like if my 20-year-old tells me tomorrow, Mom, I'm going to do CrossFit.
Right, like
go
young.
for it.
Okay, so this is a good question because I had this as one of the questions that I wanted to talk to you about. So as we age, you know, we're getting a little bit older. Women tend to suffer a lot from osteosporosis, and you know, our bone density decreases. I've read a lot that yoga and Pilates are a better fit for our body, and it still keeps us very toned and very fit.
Yes. What Pilates does is it helps you stretch and use muscles that you never use.
You never knew you had.
Yes.
Okay,
You know.
I gotcha.
So you know, everything has its little their you know the
See, the good and the bad.
the good and the bad. But to me, I've never, believe it or not, my daughter, my oldest, is super into yoga. She's had the thing hanging from her ceiling, and she always used to tell me, Mom, you gotta do yoga, you know, because yoga helps a lot with mental health.
I've never done yoga.
You know,
I don't know.
it's-
I've never done it. I can't imagine me just sitting there going. I try to do it here by myself, staring at a candle. They told me to stare at a
Yeah.
candle that it helps.
Meditating.
I'm trying to meditate. I'm trying, and it's really
My
hard for
daughter's
me.
really okay. So my oldest is, you know, she's my little wild and free child. You know,
It's like a hippie,
Yeah, and
a tree hugger. She's one of us.
yeah, you know, and she's really into that. And she's always told me, Mom, you should really do this. You know, it's really good for you. But Pilates, I've never done either. And Pilates is great. As a matter of fact, I have been thinking, because they just opened a Pilates place by my house, and I was thinking about doing a class because, girl,
You can get the machine too
Let me
and
tell
put it.
you.
If you have a house that you can just
I
you
think
know.
my husband would really appreciate that. Because, girl, you get into positions.
I don't know much about Pilates.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, seriously, you stretch out your legs like to the point of.
Your man would be like, baby, baby, wake up. It's your Pilates class time, girl. Last night you was not that flexible.
You know, and it really helps out with flexibility.
Yeah.
You know, and
So that's
goes
what it is.
hand in
It's like, but isn't that what yoga? So yoga is more meditative, and
Yeah,
Pilates is
yoga's
more like to
hand. Pilates.
open your legs.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good.
I've
It
seen
is.
videos of Pilates, you know, but I really don't know much about it.
Yeah, it's really good. And listen, all these things that we're talking about help with mental health.
Okay, it's funny because what advice would you give to someone currently facing depression or mental health challenges? That is the question that I was looking at because the universe wanted me to ask you because you answered it before I even asked.
I really feel that you know, working out for me really worked.
Yeah, it helped me a
Really.
lot too.
It really worked, you know, and like I said,
You just took
before-
it to a different level.
Yes, and you don't have to take it to that level.
No, I want to take it to that level because I want to look like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, first, let's go into the refrigerator and throw everything out.
I just bought dumplings. I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
So, you know, that's number one. That's key right there.
Yeah.
Then
It's what you're
you
eating.
know, you just start, you know, giving yourself a little bit of motivation, you know, a little bit of bike or, you know, just anything. There's so many things to do. You know, me personally, like I said, I have a full gym at home in the garage. I like to go out and work out, you know, because
Well, it gets you out of your house too, right?
yeah.
That's important.
And I love to run. Love to run. Okay. I'm not a runner. I don't do like.
You're not like a marathon.
No,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I run. I stop a little. I run. Because I have a bad knee, but
No, and I've read that too. That running is horrible for your
yes,
joints, right?
Yes. But my trainer told me, it got to the point where he told me, either you run or you jeopardize what you're doing with me, because there was a lot of things I couldn't do.
I'm gonna tell you that though. I had a boss, Ibra Morales. He's retired. Obviously, he's like 80s. He doesn't look like he's in his
Wow.
80s. Like that guy looks like he's like 60 something. I'm not kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Ibra runs marathons at least 2 to 3 times a year.
Wow.
And that's his thing. That's his thing. Like everybody has a thing. That's his thing.
Yeah.
And he loves. He does like he'll travel to New York. He'll go to Boston. He'll.
So here we go. This is a thing. Do you want to have a runner's body?
That's really thin, really lean.
Really lean. Like loose butt. Do you want to lose your butt?
I don't. I like the booty, but
Okay.
I don't think I can lose my butt.
Oh, you will.
I can't. I don't think it's possible.
If you start running,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you will lose every fat in your body.
Yeah.
It's completely different. The running body is completely different.
I mean, I do like cardio though. It does make me feel good, but I'm not a runner. I'm more of a walker. And during COVID, that was what got me through the cray cray.
Oh, yeah.
Girl, I was going a little cray cray in here, and I'm not kidding, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. Like I would walk for 2-3 hours at a time, sometimes outdoors, because I would get so into it with the music. I went a little deaf. Because it was so loud. But I literally like had 2 or 3 people, not a lot, but you remember the movie Rocky?
oh yeah.
Like I literally had like 2 or 3 people going, "Hey, keep going, you're seeing me," and I was like,
Isn't
"Oh
that
my
awesome,
god,
though?
yeah!"
Isn't
And
that
I was
awesome?
like, "I'm working out this much,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
would see me, and because I had the same route, right? I would always do the same route in my area, so that was kind of cool. But
So I had a neighbor, she became a monster after she met me.
a monster. What does that mean?
Yeah, she became like really heavy into CrossFit, and that was in my CrossFit era. And I wanted to quit smoking,
Okay.
right? So
Is that so? What are you smoking there?
I know I gotta quit this.
What
This
is that?
Bad. This is a vape.
I know, but what does it have? in it?
Nicotine.
Does it have a taste?
Yes.
Let me taste it.
Oh God.
It's good shit.
Oh yeah, that's addicting.
What is this? Like watermelon?
That's strawberry banana.
I like it. No, I have one. I have one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, you're
So-
preaching to the choir. I like it.
So no, but I used to smoke.
But I
cigarettes.
do notice that if you do it a little too much, it like gives you kind of like like I think that it has kind of the same side
I
effects
haven't
as
gone to that.
No?
I haven't gone to that. No. Hopefully I won't. I want to quit. But anyway, so
So you were working on and smoking cigarettes?
So I was smoking cigarettes. Mind you, my cigarette pack would last me a week or two. Okay, like I wasn't like that type of smoker, but it was hard for me to stop. Mind you, my kids never saw me smoking a cigarette. My husband never saw me smoking.
You were
either.
one of those people that put on a glove through
Yes,
your window, like this is 40 through the window. They can't smoke.
yes. That was me. And and I said to myself, okay, you know what? I need a goal. Because one thing about me, I need a goal.
Okay,
Always have.
Yeah, whatever.
So I'm
helps
like,
you.
okay, I need a goal to stop smoking. I'm gonna start running. So I told my neighbor, I'm like, hey, let's start running. She was like, okay, I don't smoke, but I'll go with you. Girl, that girl would run like Rocky.
And you were like,
And I was Forrest Gump. I
run.
was
No, oh yeah, what are you Forrest can run. You're getting your movies mistaken, girl. Forrest can run.
Oh, yeah. I
Run,
was-
Forrest, run.
she can run. And then,
No.
so funny, after I would go run, I would sit in the front of the house before my husband would get there, and I would smoke a cigarette. She's like, what are you doing? And then I did that 2 months prior before my goal to stop smoking. December 31st, stop smoking.
What year?
Oh my God, this was like 12 years ago.
Oh, Oh, okay. Long
Yeah,
time ago.
yeah.
Oh.
I picked this up after my dad passed away in October.
I get it.
You know,
I get it.
I was really stressed. I was going through a lot of anxiety, and I just picked it up. And it's funny because my 30-year-old smokes this,
Yeah.
and I just hit it, and she was like, "Mom," and she told me, she was, "Mom, this is addicting.
It's super addicting because you don't realize it, because a cigarette at least runs out and you throw it out.
You can
this
smoke
one
this
you're
shit
like
anywhere,
Yeah.
you know?
You're in your bed. You can
Yeah,
So you can do it a lot more, and you don't know what kind of long-term damage that's gonna have. That's the problem.
Exactly. Let's not
Yeah.
get into that.
Okay,
because,
we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna
yeah.
talk about that.
Let me enjoy my
One more.
wine and
Do it. Have fun, girl.
Yeah.
YOLO. YOLO. YOLO.
so, you know, I mean, but yeah, and you know, I listen, there's no excuses. Oh, what I was saying, when I was doing CrossFit, my girls were really small. And I would sit them by the wall, they would do their homework, and I would do my CrossFit. Let's go home. You know, so there's really no excuse. Nowadays, most gyms are open at 5 a.m. And yes,
Yeah, you
5
just
in the
gotta wake
morning,
up.
everyone's like, oh my God. But after 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
You get into it. Like your
you-
body craves it.
your body craves it.
Okay.
You know, and you sleep better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It helps you with sleep. It helps you with anxiety. It helps
better.
you with depression. It helps you with
Yes,
everything.
Yes.
Yeah. You just gotta stick. What is it? 21 days, and it becomes a habit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Just like, you know, when I started doing the actual diet for competition, I'm a very sauce. I love sauce. I'm a sauce lover. Like I pour on, you know, con gris, a spicy mayo. Really.
Oh my God. You and Sydney would be BFFs.
You know, and I love it. And my body had to detox from all of that.
And how long did it take you that? Like
It took me about a month.
Yeah.
About a month.
Because you crave it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you feel like shit.
for the first, you know, it's funny you said that, Monica. For the first 2 weeks, I felt like I was literally on the floor.
Yeah, no energy.
No.
Depression. Yeah.
Yes.
And you're like, fuck this. And then
Yeah.
you just got to stick it out and just start eating clean. So I started talking now to this, he's a vegan chef, who I was kind of telling him because I'm feeling very like lethargic and tired and I know what it is. I know a lot of it is my diet and that I'm not working out. I get it, but I feel like I have like I'm intoxicated somehow. Like I have intoxication in me, like something I'm eating. Maybe I'm not processing something properly, you know? So I started drinking, for example, like water with Celtic salt. Am I
Okay.
saying it correctly? A teaspoon of that with baking soda. And then he was telling me put some cayenne pepper in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And drink that as you work out because that gives you energy as well because it balances the alkaline
In the body.
in the body. Correct. And then he's at, so I'm like, again, somebody that I reached out through social media. And he's writing back to me and he's like, what you need to do is you need to focus for 1 month and go on a vegan alkaline diet.
I tried.
And I'm like, shit, that's hard.
I'm not against vegan.
That is gonna be hard.
tried.
He's like,
I
but do it
tried.
at least for the 1 month so that you can balance out because what your problem is that you're completely out of balance. That's why you're tired. That's why you feel like shit. That's why when you go to the bathroom, you're not able to go to the bathroom. Like everything. That's why you have acid reflux.
Oh, yeah.
No matter how healthy you try to be, because then we do it for 3 days and we're like, oh my God, I'm not sleeping right. I'm having to take over the counter sleeping medication. And I'm just like, no, this is not the way that our bodies should be operating.
Of course not.
This is not
Especially
normal.
At our age.
Yeah.
30.
30 years old.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen. At 25, it doesn't happen.
Our bodies are going through a lot of changes, and I'm kind of afraid.
Well,
that's another thing.
That's
why.
another thing. It's hormonally, we start, men and women, right? I think that men start at like 28. Women start a little later where we start losing the estrogen that we have. But right now, where we're at in our category, like that is exactly what's happening. And it really messes with our mind. causing the depression and the fogginess
Of
that we
course.
experience,
Of
where we're
course.
just like, why can't I write a sentence right now? Why did I forget how to spell the word word?
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like, am I stupid? No, you're not stupid. It's your hormones and you're completely out of balance.
Out of balance. I was telling my husband the other day, I asked him, I'm like, and this did not just happen once. It happened more than once. I'm like, babe, what did I eat yesterday?
Yeah, you forget.
And it's like, babe, what did we do yesterday? And he's like, really, babe? I'm like, yeah, I don't remember. And he's, and men go through the same thing. They go through
Yeah, with the testosterone. Gonorrhea? That's another hormonal problem. That's another hormonal problem they experience and get it. You know what I mean?
They go through gonopause, but it's something very similar to the same thing
it's like
that
the
women go.
testosterone loss. Yeah, that they have.
Claro, they go through different eras. They want to buy a freaking sports car. They want to, experiment different things, while women are just here dying of,
Heat.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Put down the AC, but it's freezing in here.
Yeah, exactly. And meanwhile, they want to buy a sports car, and they do different things, like they go through different eras as well. But it's just not as shocking to their body as it is to us.
Right.
And that's what I'm afraid of, because I've seen women that have gone through menopause that end up really bad.
What do they give you if you go see a professional? And I have older friends that have gone to see, and they give you the hormone test to see, where it is that you're lacking any imbalance, and obviously the first thing that they give you is estrogen, which they say that when you take that, you're more susceptible to getting cancer, because you take a shit and you get cancer nowadays, right? And I strongly believe it's just very difficult, especially here in this country. Everything that we eat is processed. Everything is sprayed, pesticides, and that's why we're all messed up the way that we are. Because you go to other countries and they're eating very organic type meats and vegetables and fruits and are you kidding me right now? They're trying to give us like fake meat to eat. That's like the new thing right now, and they're trying to make it normal. No, there's something wrong with that. But then how off is that from the cow that we're going to eat, that they've just injected 20 pounds of hormone so that he blows up this much bigger, so that they can make that much more meat from it, so that they can make more money off of it.
Of course.
And that's why we're all messed up. So anyway, it's just we're not going to fix it. Unless, you move to Montana and grow a farm and start growing your own crop.
Yeah.
So to finish this off, with everything that we talked about, right? With the food, the, working out, which has been instrumental in everything for you, I think, as an adult, and moving forward, and being a better mother, a better wife, a better person, a better human being, a better person that loves yourself. Because I think that's most important. You need to love yourself. Okay, and that's where it starts. Because when you love yourself, you really are a better person for everybody else, starting off with your family. With people that are dealing with mental health challenges, such as what we're talking here today, depression, anxiety, inadequacy, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm fat, I'm ugly, nobody likes me. We've all been there.
Well, nobody likes me anyway.
Nobody ever liked me anyway, but I don't give a fuck. No,
I really don't care.
But what got you through that? It was the working out. It was just getting to a level in your life where you just said, I don't care anymore. I'm working on myself. I'm going to focus on me.
I got a lot of criticism for that. A lot because, like we said, a lot of people can be very
judgmental.
And, a lot of people are like, why are you working out so much?
Yeah.
or why you know, for example, my lashes. That's like a huge thing. A lot of women, I'm going to be 47. There, I said it. Um,
She's old. You old. You so old.
and a lot of people are like, why do you wear lashes? Why do you do your eyebrows? Why do you microblade? Why do you do Botox? And it just makes me feel better. Why? Because I feel better because I'm starting to look better.
Right. And
You understand?
It's about looking. I'm talking about the man in the mirror.
And that's the way, listen, it has nothing to do with your husband. It has nothing to do with the boyfriend. It's all about you.
It's about how you feel.
How you feel.
Because you could be married to the hottest, richest man in the world, but if you're not happy with yourself, you're gonna make him miserable and everybody around you miserable.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's about you.
And to be honest with you, I just love it. I love the fact that I can wear anything from Shein, and
That's a face.
no.
That's a face
You don't
makeup.
know what Shein is?
Yeah, the face makeup.
Girl, Shein clothes.
Oh,
It's cheap,
yeah.
cheap clothes from Japan.
Shein. Oh yeah, Shein.
It's Shein. It's cheap clothes from China.
Oh,
but
it's
I'm saying-
cheap. I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
that was
yeah.
like Lululemon.
No.
Lululemon.
And you know what? When you feel good and you dress it up and you put on your necklaces and you put on your, your watch and your
Yeah,
makeup.
whatever helps you feel better.
It
Absolutely.
doesn't matter if you're wearing Louis. It doesn't matter if you're
agree.
wearing Burberry.
I agree.
Whatever it is you're wearing, you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And I don't care what anybody tells me. Okay? If you're overweight, okay, and let's just get this out of the way. If you're overweight, you cannot be happy with yourself. Okay? It's not that I'm shaming you. It's not that I'm, but you can't feel happy because you're not healthy.
It's the unhealthy portion
it's the
of
unhealthy
it.
portion.
Right.
Okay?
Because a lot of women, I'm sure, that could be thick with a double C and,
Yes.
feel great about themselves, but correct. Then you have high cholesterol,
Exactly.
diabetes, and all those side effects that
it's-
come with being thick.
Unfortunately, it will catch up to you. And then
Yeah.
it's going to be too late.
Correct.
So why not fix the problem
I'm with you.
when, you have the chance to and the time? Because we guys,
No, as you get older, you're not.
ladies,
Yeah, when you get older, you're not going to want to do it, and if
know-
you get too messed up, you're just not going to be able to do it at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then, yes, now we have the gastro bypass, you have injections, but those are things that you're doing because you got to better yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the end result? The end result is getting healthy.
Right.
So why not do it when you have the chance to do it?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
And I see people and they're just like, oh, I'm happy this way. I'm like, okay, and then, deep inside, I'm like, not because, mind you, I'm not talking about that you got to be a 25, waist and, double D's to be happy. That's not what I'm saying either. But, you just can't feel right, being a certain weight, because you're carrying that on your knees.
Yeah.
You're carrying it on your, on your shoes, your heels.
I saw that with my father, who passed away in 2019, and his mind was clear and his body was in his, and I'm my father's daughter in every shape, with all of his, darkness and light. I really am. I'm very much like him, and I don't want to be the darkness that he had, and part of that was just being heavy. Because at that point you can't fix it. You're too messed up at that point. So Yeah, that's perfect.
And you wanna be able, if you have kids, you wanna be able to enjoy them.
Yeah, when they get older,
You
when they
know?
have kids
Like
themselves
now,
for, grandkids or whatever.
Of
Yeah. Yeah,
course.
for sure.
You want to run after them. You want to feel good. It doesn't matter, what age you are. As long as you feel good, you transmit that. When you're depressed.
I think that that's it. It's about a transmission of energy based on how you love yourself and feel. And my previous guest that I had on the podcast, Lisa, she has self affirmations for herself where she looks in the mirror and she's like, I pat myself on the back and I love you. You're the shit. You're number one. And I'm like, yes, you have to do that too. But then we got to get to the gym.
Yeah.
Because she's also heavy. And so this patting goes away after a while when you're all messed up with diabetes and all the problems, right? So, and that's part of what she's doing. She's our age also. And we're going to help each other. So you know what? You might have another client, you might have, I want a discount. A discount.
Always. Always. I'm super proud of you.
I don't know why, because I'm really struggling right now.
But you're helping others.
I do believe that that's something that we all have inertly in ourselves. We thrive by helping others and giving to others, and from a selfish perspective, that's just human beings. Like, it just makes us better people.
Yeah.
I help you, I help myself because it makes me feel better.
Of course.
So I always say that.
And this is all about women empowering.
Yes, and I love that, girlfriend. I do love that how you said that. We do have to we have to support ourselves.
Yes.
We are a small group from elementary school.
Yes.
And it's you, Marilyn, let me not say last names. Even though she's supposed to be on the podcast, Eradi already came on. Yelena already came on. Where are you, bitch? Where are you? Super successful. Marlis is super successful. Yelena just got her PhD, for the love of God.
That's awesome.
She just got her PhD with 2 children.
That's awesome.
Like, I am like this with her now. Like, I'm like in the military for her when I see her. It was hard because I understand how difficult that must have been for, and I saw how she struggled to get to that point. She really did. She has an amazing support system too, because I don't think that you can do it without that.
No, and that's the thing. When going back to when I was eating, as strict as I was, my husband respected the fact, and when he wanted to order his pizza, he would send me to the neighbor's house. And I would go to the neighbor's house.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
And I was like, what are you going to do? And he's like, I'm ordering pizza, babe. Okay? Nothing else. Ordering pizza. I'm like, okay. Because the smell kills you.
No, that's torture.
And
that's what I'm saying. Like, the level of discipline that you have to have. And it has to be like heart in the beginning.
Yes.
And it has to be about yourself. That's what I'm saying.
But
if
again,
it's not about you, you're never going to get through it.
Exactly. But again, that's competing. Okay?
Right.
We're talking about just a healthy lifestyle. And listen, it doesn't matter what age you are. It's never too late. The only time when it's late is when you get sick. And then you're like, oh shit, I got to do something for myself. And then you're like, hello, I've been telling you for years, you got to do it.
That's a problem. That once you get sick,
there's
it's funny because, that's a meme or a quote that I read so much and it resonates. It's like, people spend their whole lives working to make all this money, to buy all these houses and all these cars and all these fancy watches and shoes and everything. And then they get sick to get all the money that they made that they were never there for their family, right? Because you're always working. To now spend it on a hospital and doctors to save your life because now you're dying and you're still not with the family. So you weren't with the family here, and you basically worked to pay now to be in a hospital and just extend your life even longer because I genuinely think that we really don't want to go.
Yeah,
even though we get depressed and sometimes we think about it, we genuinely don't want to do it. We don't want to do it.
Yeah, there's times when you feel like you want to go, and when time comes, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I don't really want to go.
I'm not there yet. I'm not
I'm
there
not
yet.
there yet, especially with a beautiful family.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
really want to, and hey, you don't have to have a family.
No.
You can have a dog. That you
Right,
wanna live with.
right.
It just doesn't matter. Someone, something. We all have something to live for.
I think that this podcast was very informative. I think that you were very open with a lot of your struggles, which I thank you very much, my friend, from the bottom of my heart.
Yes.
For how open you were, because I know that a lot of people are not comfortable with that, and I get it. And it's taken me a long time to get, and I'm still not talking the way that I should be. But I appreciate when people are at that level of comfort where they're able to really share their stories to help other people.
And let's just get something straight. I still suffer from depression. I suffer less from it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because mental health is real.
Yeah.
Okay. It's something that, you live for the rest of your life, but you learn to deal with it.
You learn to to kind of like cope with it and work
You
around
cope with it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you've got to do something for yourself to be able to cope with it. Sitting in a couch,
Eating donuts all day long ain't
yes,
gonna do it.
sleeping all day, becoming a workaholic.
Yeah, that's also
Doesn't help.
An ism. It's like right ism, alcoholism, drugism,
Yeah.
whatever. Workism.
Yeah.
That's an ism.
Exactly.
That's not healthy.
And you need to, just mentally just give self-love,
Yeah.
self-care, and I just really feel like that's one way of doing it, at least to help for me.
Yeah.
And my family. They love me more.
I'm sure they
They don't want to throw me off the balcony now.
They were like, we can deal with her now. She's much better. She's better now. So we're gonna end the podcast. I know we said that we were gonna talk about your grandmother. I'd rather do it in another podcast.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
This is fun. I like this.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah. And I'm going to put your information. I definitely want to talk a little bit off camera. And then, listen, maybe we can share a story. We can do a transformation story. I'll post the picture with the cellulite and without the cellulite on me.
Yes.
And because I definitely, like it's happening. Like, we're moving forward with this. I'm going to do something. I'm ready to do it. I'm in a slump. I can't continue like this because I'm going to blow up again. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that to happen. It's going to put me right back where I was at one point. So I definitely need your help with that. But thank you for sharing your story, for sharing your thoughts, for sharing your secrets, for if anybody wants a little bit more information on, personal training with Aradia, she's in the Kendall area in Miami. Mm-hmm. She's available.
Yes.
She's taken in clients.
You guys can follow me on Iris, what is it? Iris Blogger 2021. And that's where I post all my clients. I post some.
Okay, I'll put it on a little link now in the bottom. So you guys could just send it to me where it's clear. Mm-hmm. And I'll put it there so that you guys can follow her there on Instagram.
Yes.
To follow her journey and her different clients. I can post your information, your email, your phone number so that people can reach you.
For sure.
If they're interested, we'll be seeing each other in the classes, clearly, because I'm going to be getting coached by Iradia. Iradia, a.k.a. Iris. She ended up changing her name later in life, okay?
Yes,
this
I
is
did.
something that I knew her when she was Iradia, and she's going to stay Iradia.
Yes. And that's why I wear my, if you notice.
EC. I saw it. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right. Iradia Cruz.
Yes.
We don't forget.
I know. We got to have another podcast on just so many other things.
Absolutely. No, I want to do one with like all the girls, and maybe if I can coordinate with everybody, I'll definitely, let you know so that we can meet up. We can do it at either your house or Marlis' house. You guys have y'all are the rich ones in the group with the big houses, so we can go to your houses and we can talk, and I got to get more mics. Shit.
Yeah.
How are we going to do that?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Figure it out.
Of course.
But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys like the show, the information, my guests, please like and share and subscribe to the channel. That really helps me to bring in more interesting guests that can help us, that can help you, that can help me, because I'm learning as I move along with everything that I'm doing here.
Yes.
But thanks again, and I appreciate you guys for following and tuning in. Thank you.
you.